All right, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, the chief host of the show, and joining me, as always, is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hello! Hey guys, how you doing today on this wonderful Friday or Saturday, depending on where you are? Right now I'm currently in the middle of a massive storm here on Long Island. I'm hoping. Well, I still have electricity, and I'm hoping that I don't lose power or internet, at least within the next hour or so. So we'll see what happens.
Well, shit. If it happens, I'm gonna have to keep pushing the panic button. And just say, Avira, come back. Avira, come back.
Well, I had
That's
to turn my phone off because I kept getting like news alerts of like flood warnings from the government. So
right. Like, dude, I just seen some of the pictures up there in New York, and it's intense.
it's wild. It's crazy wild right now. But I'm
Yeah.
alive. I have a two-story house, so
Is winter sort of rearing its ugly head for you now, or
well, right now it's the start of fall. I believe fall started about last week. I want to say, or the 23rd. So right now we're in that transition phase where it starts just like rain and whatnot, and then the temperature drops. And then when that's over, around like early October, then it'll start to be like in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that. So it's still
Mhm.
kind of warm, but uh, right now it's just crazy out.
No, I can imagine it's just pouring buckets, and all the roads and the underground rail is just
Oh
trying
yeah,
to kind of keep the heads above the water, so to speak.
that? Unless, of course, you got scuba gear.
I do not. So yeah, help me.
All
I
right,
should be able
we just fly over you, and then we just airlift you out of there.
to. I get well. Candy corn is made of sugar mostly, so I'm pretty sure I'll just melt.
No, but anyways, we don't know who to thank for all this though. Climate change?
Yes, my global warmings. It's everywhere.
It caused the rain to happen bigly. But really though, just I just hope all the best out of this, and nothing too damaging comes out of it.
Thanks, man.
And
Like I said, so far we still have power and internet, so that's all I need.
that's it, mate. And now joining us, as always, our interim host, Noble.
Good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon. Oh, got that mixed up. And Todd, you are holding dynamite. I'm done.
I know you get the times mixed up, but you know what? We probably have to have a clock that turns the other way around for you. Just maybe that'll
Well,
work.
you'd need one of those backwards running clocks as well, Joel.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh well, but now we are going to start with the items on this week. So, what have we got? Well, we've got a long-running TV show, Power Rangers. Oh man, what's gonna happen to it, eh? Let's have a look. Let's start with this. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. Showrunner Simon Bennett says he's not a fan of either Power Rangers or Super Sentai. Following on
Now,
from a very long running trend of people who get into these positions who hate the source material. What is up with that?
so for my take on this, I would question whether or not he's this individual would be willing to play ball. However, the fact that there's this big change going on does raise a few questions.
Hmm.
Right. And yet here you have got a man who's done all this work for years and years, and he never became a fan of either Power Rangers or its source material. So
Yeah, that's kind of a common thing that I've seen. I was watching this video earlier about Game of Thrones and how most of the actors and actresses they never even read the books.
Hmm.
So this is kind of like that, I guess.
I mean, that's largely true in and of very much when you're putting together a new material, new material. But when you're doing an adaptation of something,
Yeah, at least know the source, right?
right?
You would think.
It should be a sort of litmus test to see if you got like you're gonna get a real one who knows their stuff and is really, really passionate about this project,
I
or
would prefer the actual, say, for instance, if a TV show or movie, they had someone on staff who was deeply familiar with the material. Otherwise, you, an actor doesn't have to know the ins and outs. They just have to know how to portray the character. That's it. Or at least how to portray the character in the new form of media. But if you
right,
scroll down a little, Jolt, this is the part which is somewhat upsetting, not to mention problematic. If you scroll back up, where
okay.
the Twitter post there, where it says
Super Sentai is limiting for Power Rangers.
that is a problem. You might be thinking how or why. Well, Power Rangers is popular because the method works. Take Brock in Pokemon, for instance. The people behind the anime felt that, oh, Brock might be considered racist, so let's get him out. People busted a nut. They went crazy and demanded that he came back. They wanted to know when he was coming back. So the showrunners had to bring him back, simply because he was a beloved character. Power Rangers, in this case, the whole reason why people like watching the show is because of the Super Sentai material. Yes, it is limiting to the storytelling of the actual show itself. However, that's what gives the show its character. That's what makes it attractive. That's why people, when they get older, still like to watch the show, why they buy the stuff from the show. So at this
Yeah,
point, you might as well kill the Power Rangers franchise completely and start something else with a similar sort of theme, but purely based in America.
Right. And now, like, if you read this post here, like the showrunner himself was commenting that to reach a large mainstream audience, the franchise has to move away from its tokusatsu roots.
Power Rangers itself has been getting material made specifically for the Western audiences. So, unlike the first, maybe I think it was the first one or two seasons where it was just purely uh, reused material and very rarely reshot material. A fair amount of it is actually reshot here, in New Zealand. Sorry, for the Western audience.
oh,
Oh boy.
Hmm.
I didn't actually know that it was shot in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, why do you think there's a lot of Kiwi stuff in it?
Ah,
I
now it's
mean,
all coming together.
when Jolt went to New Zealand, he would have been able to see a lot of the places. I mean, New Zealand, I think if I correct, was uh, there was a dojo there from one of the actors.
I mean, they probably would have put it up there. Otherwise, no, I completely would have missed it. Because most of New Zealand's, I know they're just really proud of the whole Lord of the Rings, but that's not to say they're proud of other movies. I mean,
Well,
heck,
after
yeah.
a lot of the shots from the old show, unfortunately, would have been destroyed because of the earthquake that happened a couple of years ago.
Hmm. Yeah, that's in the southern island of New Zealand, where Christchurch just basically a lot of the historical buildings and all that have just collapsed because of the earthquake,
Oh goodness.
and they're still rebuilding as we speak. Because yeah, that was my vista when I was going to Christchurch. They're still rebuilding, the famous church there and what have you. So, I mean, still, I understand. New Zealand is very proud of them being a really big, hot spot for filming.
Well, yeah,
Actually, it's budget.
beautiful. Well, it's budget, but it's a really beautiful country. I mean, just in general, a
It
lot of
really
mountains and
is.
valleys, and yeah, it's great.
It
New
really is.
Zealand Sorry,
Really?
New Zealand's more like Australia's Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, right on.
That's right. Like some people have argued that New Zealand, like if you've gone to Tassie, you might as well like not bother going to New Zealand because it's just like that.
Huh, cool.
I mean, granted, but I will say, do go to New Zealand. It is very much worth the trip. That's why I kind of that's why I purpled up New Zealand for a reason all those
Oh
years ago.
yeah, that's right.
There's there was this thing where you find sometimes New Zealand coinage, and that's because their $2 coin is the size of our $1 coin, and their $2 coin is the size of our $1 coin.
Oh, that could be confusing though, like for vending machines.
Yeah, yeah, it is. People
See,
take advantage of that.
sometimes I find the occasional. Why do I get some New Zealand coins in my change? But that's mostly in cents and not dollars. But that's because both of them still have like the mug of Queen Elizabeth II on them until you kind of read the fine print and says New Zealand.
Yeah, so
Then
our
it's okay.
coinage is basically pretty similar to the point where it's not counterfeiting, but it's using foreign currency.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Which it's that legal gray area. It's endlessly hilarious sometimes, very upsetting, and can be concerning when it comes to financial side of things. But uh, legal gray areas are sometimes amazing.
Oh, what's the exchange rate? Is it
No idea.
Well, to be honest with you, New Zealand dollars are worth a bit less than well, the dollar we do actually. So we actually end up getting more New Zealand dollars. Well, I could actually quickly put that up for you. But at the end of the day, one biggest gripe I have about New Zealand is the petrol prices. Oh my goodness. All right, so latest exchange rate. One Australian dollar gets you 1.07 New Zealand dollar. Now, if you want to put that into US dollars, one US dollar gets you 1.67 New Zealand dollar.
Oh, that'll add up for sure.
Well, whether or not you actually will live like a prince if you go to New Zealand with that kind of money, yeah, I'm gonna have to doubt that. Because, dude, if the petrol prices don't give you a heart attack, the food prices might. So there is that.
So, what else was about Power Rangers that we should keep going off about?
Right. Okay, we've got some more here. So it's like you said, Noble. Limiting to a certain degree. So we're gonna expand on this point in here.
Oh, there's a Netflix thing on Power Rangers. Okay.
Right. But it's like you said. Like there were the whole source material thing was limiting to what you can use, but they don't realize it adds character to the show, and they're thinking that they're trying to do something different to expand on the possibilities they have for storytelling. Which again, is this going to be a double-edged sword? Do you think?
Oh, they've made the wrong choice with this. That's for damn sure.
Granted, I think the first Power Rangers series it started in '93 or '94. So this is almost a 30-year-old series.
It started back in the 80s, Super Sentai. I think it was like the early 80s or something when it
Oh,
first
the
aired.
'80s, really? Because I was
Yeah.
looking at Wikipedia earlier, and hmm,
Anyway,
thought it was '93.
for Power Rangers, it's the 30th. Yeah, no,
Anniversary
this
of
is just really old.
Yeah, it's been around since I've been alive. Yeah.
So it first was aired in the West in 1993.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Super Sentai, 1975.
Whoa. Okay. Didn't know it
no,
was
it's
that
getting
old.
close to its 50th anniversary. Wow. Yes, but really, at the end of the day, we come back to the classical conundrum of does Hollywood or does West, or does the West really understand how to handle, niche geek properties like this, like Power Rangers, or did they
What was
just
that
not
Dragon?
get their audience at all?
What about that Dragon Ball Z movie they made? No, Dragon Ball Evolution. Sorry, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that here. I mean, that tells you all you need to
uh,
know. Doubly even more so when they were that close to ruining Netflix's One Piece, One Netflix, and then the whole community would have just said, they would have just disowned Hollywood for doing that.
yeah, I think anyone watching this or listening to the podcast should understand that this franchise built its foundation primarily on kids. And just like with Pokemon, when people become adults, they'll generally go back to it,
Yeah,
whether in a short form or, delve full on into it.
right. And
The
then you've got,
people
yeah,
in control of the show don't realize that by changing things this much, it could just take away the old audience and just leave you with whatever little kids that are watching the TV at the time.
hmm and really, like, I don't think there's another big thing that I don't think they fully consider is when long-term fans grow up, become adults, and still have the loyalty for the series. You've got these big fan bases like Pokemon, and still even Power Rangers is true to this day.
You'll have to wait like another 20 years before people will take any interest in the show. Whoops.
Right.
Yeah, they come back for like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, that's true. And now, like, what are they trying to do? Like, bring it out to the mainstream, introduce it to a whole new audience, and it might not resonate with them.
Oh, we
So,
have a live comment from D the Fur who says, generally, long-running series hit a gold point that networks try to imitate and then end up compromising it. Sadly, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, they do.
Pokemon,
Like this happened with SpongeBob too.
Pokemon was interesting and unique because they ended up doing the black and white series, which was, I mean, they invested a lot into that anime, into the actual game itself.
Hmm.
And apparently the community at that time absolutely hated it and laughed at them for it. I mean, people still bought the games and everything and played it, but why invest that much now that it's just so shallow and empty and it's just, eh. Oh well.
Well, but in that way, I guess that's pretty much just where it leaves us with TV series. It's no surprise that whenever they try to do something new these days in these new lenses, it ends up turning out for the worse. What a shame there. But what do you feel like? Do you feel a bit optimistic about this new development for Power Rangers?
Nope. If the showrunner doesn't like the show, then that's it doesn't end well usually. Is what I'll
Yeah,
say.
there's just no passion. I mean, or there wouldn't be any passion, or really any kind of uh, joy in making it. It's all just a cash grab at this point. That's pretty sad. Like for the original fans of the show. So.
D the Fur, I wanted to reply to your comment about this, but yeah, there is way too much in Black and White too. I mean, yikes.
But now I reckon we've got the next item that we're going to go through on the show. Well, let me just tell you. Let me just ask you a few quick questions here. Who's loving it so far?
Uh,
Oh no.
I'm trying.
Well, let's take a look at this. Well, here's a little quick animated lo-fi aesthetic ad from Macca's Japan.
Yeah, so
Look at it.
uh, from Niche Gamer, wholesome McDonald's Japan ad gets users debating. Debating about what exactly?
That's
I swear, if you haven't seen the like fallout of this, picture throwing a grenade into a group of people and just it exploding. Sorry to say, but that's the best explanation I have. People went nuts on both sides. I mean,
They did
shit.
and this ad there's no words. It's just some nice music, and it's very short. It's like what 30 seconds, if that.
20.
not even
Twenty
that. Like,
seconds. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a looping animation of a family just having a Macca's meal. Got the child eating fries and
See, now I would imagine that the most concerning or controversial thing about this would be feeding a little child poisonous food, but that's not what people are all up in arms about. It turns out it's because it's a normal family. Ah,
You know what
which
my
is
take on this?
interesting.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine. It's McDonald's used to do this all the time in like the 80s, the 90s. They would have like when they were advertising Happy Meals and stuff like that. Yeah, they would show like families coming to McDonald's and having a nice time and whatnot. Huh.
I hate to say this, but this may end up helping Japan with their low birth
birth
rate
rates.
issue.
It really does because Japan is suffering through a big time demographic crisis.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My take on this was simple. The ads here in Australia usually show something else going on and McDonald's in the background or people getting ready to eat it. This is far more simple and down to the point where it's better. That's it. It's a better ad than what we get here in Australia. That's my take on this. What causes me to go into a complete rage fit about is just the response that people were going off about. I mean, wow.
I will say the animation is also pretty top notch too. I mean, it's very detailed. It's very, I don't know, not somber, but like
No, it's
it's just
lo-fi.
nice.
It's just
Yeah,
it just
it's
has
nice.
nothing but chill vibes, man. And it's also done in the signature detail that Japan is known for, like background animated items with great background details. Peak anime aesthetic.
Yeah. And they even have like a keychain of what is that? The wolf person from that
Right.
movie?
And I mean, it's
Yeah.
basically they're doing this because they're kind of basically getting close to the Halloween period too, because this was all put out in September.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, see
yeah,
like a Frankenstein, it looks like a Dracula mummy things,
but
but it's
yeah,
all wholesome, you know?
yes, and I'd say since I haven't really seen this, most of this stuff is probably familiar with McDonald's Japan. So
One of the
yes,
comments that I came across was about some idiot going off about how I want to have a kid so bad after seeing this, but I can no longer have children after my surgery.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
hmm
And from what was gathered, this was choice, not a you need to have the surgery or there's going to be problems. This was their free will in,
yeah.
Oh, it's cosmetic. I
more
see.
cosmetic.
Yeah.
So, oops.
Yikes.
Now here's the sad part where we have all these people getting angry at this commercial, which again is about a normal family and just that, but they're looking too much into this. Look at this. Just here's some of the comments here. People took umbrage because this video is apparently like the family in this video was quote unquote white. And look at this one person's tweet. Looks like Japan isn't in favor of commercials with interracial, childless, or LGBTQ couples. Who would have thought?
Why? Why? What's the bonkers? Bro, why? Oh my god. Why do they care about this? What? Because it's not some gay black couple with no kids. That's a bad thing. What the crap?
Look,
Sorry,
look
but
at
trying
this.
to foreign countries trying to push agendas onto one country trying to push agendas onto another doesn't go down so well. It wasn't helpful in history, and it's probably not a good idea today.
I guess
Here's a little
Japan just isn't woke enough.
no, here's a little context for you. Like, Japan is very much obsessed with the fair skinned aesthetic, the fair skinned blonde, or even the redhead aesthetic. Just look at this wholesome family. Like, seriously, seriously.
Yeah, what's the problem here? They're not even saying anything. They're just it's a dad and his two kids enjoying
No,
some
it's a
McDonald's,
dad, the
whatever.
mom, and the
Oh, is it the
daughter.
mom?
Yeah, that's the
Are you
mom.
sure? It looks like two kids.
No, it's the mom.
Please, are there any other comments about this?
I whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean,
I
it's a nice wholesome commercial.
oh yes, there's more. Please, Joel, put them on screen.
Yeah, there's more. There's more. There's more. Um, here we go. Japan is the only country in the first world that lacks any law which prohibits racial, ethnic, or religious discrimination. They also have no national human rights institutions. What the heck has that got to do with anything?
What? Oh, I like this comment though. This person says you're actually being xenophobic and racist towards the Japanese here. It's called a commercial for Japan. They're trying to run a business, not political activism nonsense. Surface level thinking at its finest, or intentional hatred towards Japanese people in your tweet. And then Shaq goes, "I ain't reading all that." Yeah, gee. What an
I
idiot.
have to, I have to say thank you to whoever actually pointed that out because, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're not being politically active enough. How dare you, Japan? Get the hell out of here.
You know, this outrage probably would have been. I don't. You know what? Let's be real here. This outrage wouldn't have been. Would not have. Would still happen even if they put like a Japanese looking family. You know, a racially Japanese, ethnic Japanese family in there rather than the fair haired, redhead aesthetic. It's still.
All
Who
right,
cares?
sorry. I did look at some of the Japanese comments that were made. Sorry, the local sort of people commenting on this.
Yeah, when you ran them through a translator, and what'd you find?
It turns out that one chain I came across, it was about the straws.
Are they still quipping about how the plastic versus paper debate?
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Are they killing turtles again? What's
no,
happening?
no, they've got the paper straws, and people want to know when we're getting the plastic ones back.
Oh
I
my
know.
goodness.
I missed
I
the
mean, it's
plastic
either comments
straws.
about the food or the straws. They were so normal
Oh,
on their end.
good.
People complaining about, oh, look, your straws are terrible. When are we getting proper ones back? And the West basically just goes boom. I swear, if this,
At
oh
least
man,
Japan kind of has their priorities right. Bring back the
if
plastic straws. Forget this insane eco mission and all that.
if you can't turn around and learn about cultures that are completely different to your own, then you are effectively everything that you claim to be against.
Well, I remember when that Shaq person said that, it's very terrible that they don't have any, LGBT XYZ people in it, and it's all white. And they're like, I'm not going to read your argument when this person was clearly pointing out that they were just being hypocritical and stupid.
Hmm.
They're like, nope, nope, nope.
Well,
Just
Ah,
put their fingers in
here's a
their ears. They don't care.
question: how many of the alphabet mafia is in Japan?
Not a lot.
there's not as outspoken, and if there were, they'd probably be ran by AstroTurf by Western agents.
Look, online, I like to talk to people and interact with people from all around the world.
Hmm?
Japanese, particularly, at least when profile states, are reserved and sometimes difficult to either strike up a conversation with or get to know.
Mhm.
Now, it makes it difficult to get a better feeling and understanding about how individuals are in that country. So, a lot of my understanding usually comes from YouTube videos of people who either live in Japan and are Western or are actually Japanese. And I really hate this because there is a Japanese comedian who does a lot of English stuff, and he's funny as all hell. And likes to go through explaining about Japan and how it is. That was really a surprise to me. Now, it's great that there's a comedian that can do that sort of stuff, but for anyone that wants to sort of step away from that,
I'm just surprised that this 20-second McDonald's commercial, with very high quality animation, lo-fi, looks great, from Japan, is getting criticized on Twitter or X by the West because it's not gay enough. That's the
there,
weirdest thing to me.
this is low quality animation.
I think it's pretty good compared
Oh,
to the crap we see nowadays. It doesn't look
I'm
like
not.
Flash.
I'm. I'm not stating that it's horrible and ugly, but it's not advanced. I'd say
Right.
this is
Like
more sort of
it's
standard animation
no,
that
it's a
anyone
bit
could go
quicker
out and
thing.
get.
I understand. I get where you're coming from, but overall, I like it.
Well, I
But
like it.
I do
Okay,
too.
that's my opinion, and you're just wrong. Whatever. It's nice.
yeah.
It's aesthetic. I would
Now
say.
here's the thing. Really, what this boils down to, a couple of things that what this boils down to is that a couple of things. First thing, y'all are depressing. Here's a couple of tweets on X from people. Y'all are depressing as hell. Maybe if you shout and got out and talked to people, you wouldn't be so bitter about a fictional family.
True.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What is it? Wait, hold on. What did Cerno say? The quote tweets on this are full of disgusting weebs. May Allah strike all of them.
That's
I
like
hope
that is
that
basic.
person's Muslim.
No, that is basically the right thing for a memory TV meme. By
Oh,
Allah, I see nothing but waves reacting to a Japanese commercial.
oh my
Allahu
goodness.
Akbar. By
May he strike
Uh,
you all.
I'm sorry, but I have seen some weeb photos online where they're running around Japan and just the look of some of the locals. I feel really embarrassed.
no, this is also like one of those things where you do soy face about. No, really.
That is
It,
really funny.
Actually, that is a question. Does McDonald's in Japan sell any soy-based stuff?
I can't say I've tried any of that stuff, but I did try out McDonald's Japan when I was there. You know, burgers are authentic as heck.
Oh,
Granted,
it's not processed with fake stuff like here in
oh
America.
no, but that was in 2012, so nobody thought about artificial meat at the time. But when I had it, dude, it's the real thing. It's legit. McDonald's in Japan is actually legit good.
My understanding with meat in Japan is that the locals prefer it to be fresh. So the idea of freezing it apparently is considered problematic.
Yeah, us Americans, we don't really care about that. So long as it's fat and greasy and salty and
Oh,
sugary, that's all that matters.
I can sometimes go for a month without buying meat because I just cut it up, freeze it, and shove it in the, leave it in there. So,
Mm.
Now, here's where things get a little bizarre about the whole McDonald's saga. Now, these people, McDonald's did release another little lo-fi aesthetic advertisement for in the lead up to the Halloween period, and now the reactions are just crazily over the top. Let me
wait,
present
have
to
I
you.
seen this one yet?
No, no,
Hmm,
no.
I don't think I have either.
Let me show you this.
Oh no!
Here's the new one.
Oh no! 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 No!
Okay,
No! No! No!
so what you're looking at is is this here. What you're looking at is basically all these Halloween critters. Doctor Frankenstein, a vampire, a werewolf, in rolling in a car, and a mummy, and they're just having macas, right? Pretty cute
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. And then
Definitely
like
not
look
seen
take
that one.
yeah, take a look at the werewolf at the back. Like, she transforms back into her human form. And guess how you'll never guess how people now reacted. And they went all WTF, I love Macca's now.
what?
Right.
Why? Why is this all of a sudden?
Scroll
Why the
down.
heck did they go from, McDonald's Japan bad to WTF, I love Macca's Japan now? So let's have a look. I mean, short of all that stuff, the Halloween creatures, pretty cool, right? Nothing wrong with that, because they were like on the plushies on that other original ad. Yeah,
What's this? Um, I'm offended.
no, um,
I also like ADC on top. It says whoever's in charge of making this animation, they did a great job.
yeah,
See,
yeah,
I'm not alone. I think it's okay.
yeah. But now the real kicker about this was that what's it called? Was if you look at the werewolf duo, they suddenly started to think that, oh, look at how they pose and all that. It's suddenly lesbian couple.
Oh my goodness, I was gonna say something and I didn't want to, but ugh, jeez. Really? That's why they like it now?
Right. There's
Wow.
and like I look at this and I can't see a single undertone of such a thing. Right? Like you
They could
look at
be
this,
sisters for all we know.
right, there's no context given to this.
But it's not a straight couple, so it's just a bunch of monsters, and I guess that's better.
What if
Yeah,
it's an
like
auntie?
That could be. Well,
like
it's more
suddenly,
inclusive. They have a mummy, a vampire, a zombie, all of that good stuff. Yeah, very
This
inclusive.
reminds. It looks to me like they just ripped off Monsters. The what was that TV show from the 50s or the
The,
60s?
the monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that family. That's what it reminds me of.
It's cute. It's Halloween themed or whatever. I don't see a problem with it.
yeah, I mean, I don't
I
see a
can't
problem with
see
that.
why. Look, advertisement wise, it works. Why someone would want to get bent out of shape or go off their rails? It's not even for the Western audience. Ugh.
Yes, but Japan's not inclusive enough, and they must be. Don't you understand? Otherwise, they're bigot, xenophobic racisms. I mean, that's how the
Yeah,
first advertisement went.
now it's like, how do you go from that to this? I mean, both ads are just they're great in their own way. I mean, they're cool. Like they fulfill the intended purpose of, come get some macas, enjoy this, have a great meal, right?
And this wasn't even shock advertising, and like they didn't intend to cause a stir. It was just a regular ad that they showed in Japan one day, and then all triggered snowflakes on Twitter, I guess, exploded. I mean, that's just what happens. They must be so bored and miserable with their own lives that they have to dictate what Japan is supposed to do. It's just weird.
Now, I'm of the belief that Japan has its own culture and values and stuff that they like to stick to, and the fact that these people couldn't, like I said, they got bent out of shape with it. Yeah, there's something, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
But
I
yeah,
just find it so silly that like they have nothing better to do with their lives than to debate over a commercial 17 seconds long. And I'm just like, it's not gay enough. Where? Like the outrage is just uncalled for. It's so silly.
fudge me, man. I'm gonna go back to Japan now and get some macas.
Yeah, right. Support them.
I might actually bring some over to you guys and share it. just like that, just like the commercial. It's Macca's. You share it. You get a lot and you share it.
Right on.
All right. So now I know to move forward from this, we have a we're going to transition from something nice and wholesome like that McDonald's ad to not well not the opposite side of the spectrum, but rather something a bit somber here. Yes, we've the world has lost a really famous figure just very recently.
Hmm.
It is Sir Michael Gambon, famously known as the actor for Dumbledore.
Now, when Dumbledore died in Harry Potter, spoiler alert, he dies. Uh, it's been like 10 years. We all know this. That was pretty traumatic. In the books and everything, in the movies, it was very sad. And the actor himself, I believe at the time he was in his 70s or late 60s, and he recently just passed at the age of 82. And he took over as Dumbledore from the third movie on. So he was in eight, eight of the movies, right? No,
Hmm.
five, three, four, five, six, seven, seven. Yeah, six.
Right, and that's just right, just like that. That's his legacy. He's now really known for being the actor who presented as Dumbledore. Did a great job of it too.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Well, he was an Irish-born actor, and he I believe he started on stage and then went to cinema after that. But yeah, he was definitely remembered as Dumbledore. He took over when Richard Harris when he passed away after the second movie in 2002. So yeah, that was 21 years ago. Okay, yeah, so he was 61. Yeah,
Right when he was, when he first started as Dumbledore. Yeah.
yeah, that's a bummer. I didn't know he was that old, honestly.
Yeah, that's right. Like he was born in 1940, October 19th. So he was actually pretty damn close to reaching the age of 83.
Goodness, wow, God bless him.
Yeah, indeed. And
So,
it's like you said, he started his gig at in theater doing
mhm.
Hamlet, and then from then on, yeah, he went he started in stage theater, and then he went forward, and then got his gig at film.
Yep. And
So,
his official cause of death, what they say, is pneumonia.
mm,
It seems like he was in pretty good health most of his life. He didn't really have any. He didn't have cancer, or he wasn't overweight, nothing like that. But pneumonia, unfortunately, it does get a lot of older people. Maybe it's the immune system; they just can't handle it, or it's the lungs or something.
mhm. Yeah, but still, to have reached that far.
Yeah, and playing one of the most iconic wizard roles probably ever. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and to pull it off so well, like admirably, and with how it was written. Like, granted, my I'm not. It's not exactly a secret about where I stand with the whole Harry Potter series, but really, at the end of the day, it's just you can't help but just really admire and respect what he's done for it.
Oh, for sure. Well, Harry Potter is a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and
Yeah, that's basically got a timeless legacy at this point. From back then now,
oh, definitely.
and still. But alas, regardless of all about all that, to move on from that. sort of thing.
Sorry. What was the actor's name who played Harry Potter?
Sir Michael Gambon.
No, no, no. Who
Oh no,
played
Oh,
Daniel
Harry Potter?
Radcliffe.
Daniel
Daniel Radcliffe.
Radcliffe. He's been in a couple of movies lately, and I've seen one of them, and he's a very damn good actor. So I'm hoping that the talent from people like this would have been passed on to him.
I can only imagine he must have been a great mentor. Absolutely. I know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the man who played Severus Snape. Oh, jeez, I forgot his name too. But
If you haven't seen what was it,
he's
Galaxy
one.
something,
Hmm?
Galaxy Quest. If you haven't seen that movie, oof, give it a watch.
Oh, is Daniel Radcliffe in that one?
Oh yes.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
not Daniel Radcliffe. What was the other guy? The Snape.
You mean Severus Snape?
Yes,
Yeah.
the actor who portrayed Severus Snape
I know.
was
I
in
was
Galaxy Quest. Sorry.
I was trying to think of his name. I don't remember exactly.
I have to have a look at this, and he's been played by Alan Rickman.
Oh yes, Alan Rickman. Jeez. Okay, I feel stupid.
I didn't really keep up with who plays who, unless it's super publicized. So yeah,
Right.
so my bad about that too.
Yeah,
So
there's been quite a few actors from Harry Potter that has, unfortunately passed away as of now. Rubius Hagrid, um, he's since passed. A few others. I think one of the ones who played a goblin. I think. Yeah, a grip hook. I'm not sure if he's still alive. One of them has passed as well.
hmm
It's been well over 20 years, and the Harry Potter series is still technically going with the Fantastic Beasts and all that.
and not to mention the latest hit video game, Hogwarts Legacy.
Ah, yes, of course.
That
I,
game, which I still am very patient about waiting to buy it. I know it's been on my radar since how everyone reacted to it, and I still have to make it a mission to get it. You know,
hopefully
just
the price went down, since its release.
well, I'm patient enough to wait for Black Friday. So
Perfect. There you go, man.
yeah, now Black Friday being now that it's really trickled down all over the world, and now people are really getting into the spirit of it. But more on Black Friday when we get to that point, eh?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it's but you're right. Harry Potter still keeps going and going, and who knows where they can head to next. You know, Hogwarts Legacy was a success, and it broke a lot of, and it was basically a massive seller. So there's really a lot on the cards for Harry Potter as a franchise.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're still. Yeah, I believe they're still. What are they on the third of five Fantastic Beast movies, and they're still working on them.
hmm Yeah, not to mention
Good.
that like in the past they've like a lot of Harry Potter games, including Lego Harry Potter and what have you.
Yes. Oh, I have that actually. I have Lego Harry Potter. I got that years ago. Oh man. First
hmm
Harry Potter game I played was the PlayStation 1. It was Chamber of Secrets. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
Granted, it was absolutely terrible, considering like today's standards, but as like an 8-year-old kid playing that, I was like, yeah, this is great.
It actually
Casting
fulfilled your
spells and all.
fantasy, as your fantasy of being a wizard.
Yeah, man, get to explore the castle and I don't know, fight all kinds of like dangerous situations. Yeah, I thought it was cool. But rest in peace, Michael Gambon.
Indeed. Now,
82 years old. God bless.
now there was one thing you kind of wanted to talk to me while we were briefing this, and that's about the which house in Harry Potter would best fit you.
Oh yes, did you do the test on Pottermore?
No, but knowing by my personality, which when I was known for my intelligence when I was a kiddo, I probably still am today, some to some degree. I would basically, if I were in a Harry Potter, I would be best fit as a Ravenclaw.
Nice. What about you, Noble? Which Hogwarts house do you think you'd be sorted to?
I only really watched the films casually. That was it.
All right. Well, you have well, you know what the four houses like, what kind of values they have, right?
Nope.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I would also be a Ravenclaw. That's my favorite house. It's people who are in they value intelligence, creativity. They're kind of weird and quirky. So Gryffindor is more like the chivalry and the brave, kind of like the jocks essentially. Then you have Slytherin, which is cunning, ambitious. They're kind of sly. I mean, typically they're the bad guys, but they're not actually like evil. It's just like that's in the lore. They appreciate
Right.
ambition. Like they typically be politicians and very wealthy. Then you have yeah, right, exactly. Well, exactly. Yeah, they would be totally. It's like Lucius Malfoy and all that. But and then you have Hufflepuff, which is basically everybody else. They literally say that in the Sorting Hat song. But also Hufflepuff is, they value friendship, relationships, and stuff like that. They're pretty much like the hippies, essentially. They love food and chilling out. So, I, yeah, I think I'd be a Ravenclaw for sure.
If I had to pin Noble to a Harry Potter house, I would either pin him as a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw.
I would. Yeah, I was thinking that. I was thinking more like Hufflepuff. Noble, you're pretty chill, but you value friendship and loyalty and all that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yes, but when it comes to friendship, there's a big difference between an acquaintance and an actual friend.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, most people in today's world don't understand the differences, which is actually
Ah,
fascinating.
Or the ability to form connections these days in the modern era, alas. But there's more
hmm.
factors to this
Oh,
why.
yeah.
But as to the second reason why I did pin you as a potential for Ravenclaw is because you are can you have can be quite intelligent and quirky, and with a passion for for some really technical topics and tech wizardry and stuff. That's
Don't
why I
leave
find.
me alone with your computer and a certain disk I own.
But yes, you granted, I may not know a lot about Harry Potter, but that's pretty much you
Ooh,
pretty much got that down 100%, Avira. Just
all right. Yeah, yeah, okay. What do you think Foxler would be?
oh, now that is a very interesting question.
I kind of want to say he's either a Slytherin or a Gryffindor.
If I was really really honest with you, I'd probably say he's either a Slytherin or a Ravenclaw. Again, man is really really intelligent
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Hmm.
and
He's also
quirky.
very ambitious, though. I mean, he does a lot of projects. He's really gung ho about some stuff. So, I mean, that's a good quality. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I mean, I can't. You can't. One of the things I didn't notice, like when you were mentioning Slytherin, is like when you were describing them, people seem to have like a really really cool and calculating temperament.
Oh yeah, well, that's why a lot of them, they, like I said, very ambitious. They are intelligent as well, but they're more like cunning and kind of sly. They're like I said, they make very good politicians. Essentially, that's why they get a lot of
Yeah,
power.
you're 100% right on that regard too. They're more, like I say, cool and calculating is that they're more deceptive, manipulative, roguish, and
Yeah, I wouldn't say like selfish, but more like goal oriented, basically. Like they have a projection and they strive to reach that goal, basically. Ravenclaw, like we're just quirky, creative, intelligent, stuff like that.
yeah, like scientists and engineers and what have
Or
you, and
artists,
designers.
musicians, even.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, could say that with a lot of creative types, intelligent types, sort of that
Yeah, I
sort
would
of
say
thing.
a lot of furries are probably they would lean more towards Ravenclaw, I would think.
And Hufflepuff.
Yes, yes, definitely.
You know what? If I if we had to pin down a lot of other communities into that sort of thing, I would actually put bronies in Hufflepuff.
Actually, yeah, friendship is magic, right? Hey.
From what I understand, and this is coming from a couple of people who I've known who have been in the brony community, it's a slaughterhouse. That's the only way to put it. People have been at each other's throats like you will not believe.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, fair.
and they're saying a lot of other stuff, and
And
now
majority of
like
these people left the brony community because of the drama. So yeah, I'd say more Slytherin.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so they're more like for themselves, you would say. I don't know. I think originally it was meant to be more Hufflepuff like.
I suppose I could. There might be a case for me being a Hufflepuff if you took my kid self as that, because I was pretty much I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird, but but yeah. So if you got any other interesting scenarios as to who'd fit and what? Otherwise, you know what? That would just about be the time that we've got for this week. Whew. So, we'd like to wrap up with a quick closing statement.
I will. Unfortunately, it's always a shame when someone passes away.
Hmm.
Power Rangers, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I'm going to guess that it's going to go the way of a lot of other shows that just simply disappear due to
Hmm.
their own ridiculousness. What
Right.
was the other topic we had? I forget.
Mac is Japan.
Grow up! Sorry, it's the only response I can think of.
Well said.
Hmm. What about you, Avira?
Right. In regards to commercialization and whatnot, I think Japan uh keep doing what you're doing and don't give a flying crap about what the hate mob from the West is telling you about your culture. It's ridiculous. And to reiterate what Noble said, yeah, grow the hell up already. It's crazy. I've never seen such bonkers nonsense like this. It's a freaking commercial. Like, get real. And in regards to Power Rangers, I really hope that they stick with their dorky roots of like just how corny all their choreography and like just the effects and everything is, because it does have charm to the show. If they just keep, if it's not broke, don't, no, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, I
So
don't think Power Rangers was ever broken, really.
exactly, I don't think it is. So if it's not, then don't, you know don't go down this path. And yeah, unfortunately, Sir Michael is now one of the uh, another actor who's passed away from Harry Potter, and God bless him and his family. And that's all I got to say about that, guys.
Hmm. All right. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as we had. As always, you can find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Player.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, more further down the line. Hopefully, you all can keep yourselves dry
I'll try.
Bad.
in this coming storm, regardless of where you're at. But that's all the time we've got for the week. This is us signing off. Farewell. Until next time.
Ravenclaw represent.
Time to get some creaming soda.